Imagine the year is 1900. It is autumn in Massachusetts, and this is your backyard. If you were a member of Frederick Strong Maudsley's family, it would have been. Welcome to Maudslay State Park in the historic seaport town of Newburyport, Massachusetts. The park is the former estate of the Maudslay family, and it covers a vast 480 acres of land along the coast of the Merrimack River. When Frederick Strong Maudsley began occupying the area in 1893, he purchased just 11 acres, then known as Swan Cottage. Swan Cottage was a building with 9 rooms and would be the site of the family's main house. When Maudsley was finished renovating the building, it stood as a mansion of over 40 rooms. In 1955, Maudsley's remaining family chose to have the house demolished rather than pay the $8,090.88 required for taxes to keep the house standing. All that is left today of the house is its foundation and the imprint of the drive leading up to the front step.
If you could read them all, many the hopes that have vanished to the bone.
A second home was built on the property by Maudsley's daughter, Helen Maudslay Jr. Her home was designed by William Perry and constructed in the style of colonial Williamsburg. Helen passed away in 1974, and not long after, in 1979, the house burned down in a mysterious fire. All that remains now is a second foundation and the accenting stone walls. The house was built on a hill surrounded by a wall of rhododendrons, and like her father's house had, Helen's home stood on a picturesque spot overlooking the Merrimack River. Before the Maudslays were there, the area was largely made up of cultivated farmland, and almost all the trees had been removed. While they kept some of the land for farming, the Maudslays chose to go about planting a variety of species of trees, shrubs, and flowers on a large amount of the property. They planted tens of thousands of white pines. In 1910 alone, 20,000 were ordered after a somewhat serious fire destroyed what had been planted previously. They also planted a number of fruit trees, orchards, and a variety of imported species from across the world, including 2 metasequoias from Asia that are rare because they are deciduous conifers, producing cones, as well as losing their leaves in the fall. Through the years they resided there, the Maudslays took to buying up all the surrounding land in the area and transforming it into a beautifully landscaped masterpiece. The family would use the estate as a seasonal home, only living there in the spring and autumn months. They named the estate Maudslay after their ancestral home in Lancaster, England. The spelling of the name would be changed when the state of Massachusetts took over and turned the estate into a park. The Maudslays' land became famous for the landscaping and gardening work that had been done to it. The family hired Martha Brooks Hutchinson, one of the first significant female landscape architects ever, to design their formal gardens and other aspects of the estate. Hutchinson was greatly influenced by her trips to Europe and redesigned the entire Maudslay landscape based on what she had found there. Here you can see Hutchinson's original drawings of the formal gardens and the reprinting that can be found in the park's brochure today. One of Hutchinson's most notable works on the Maudslay estate is the box hedge maze. The original plants were torn down in 2000 and then replanted. At the request of Hutchinson, the drive leading to the main house was completely moved so that visitors would not see the river until they entered the house and looked out back to find it as a beautiful surprise. She also added a gorgeous gate in the same style as those that she had found in Europe to the end of the drive, which stays standing to this day. The gardens designed by Hutchinson on the Maudslay grounds became so famous they even caught the attention of the President of the United States, William Howard Taft, who would visit Newburyport with the sole intention of viewing the gardens, President Taft spent 1 hour in Newburyport and was quoted saying he was pleased with the city and he would come again. The Mosleys also had a number of greenhouses constructed that are no longer standing, and aside from the floral gardens, the land was largely used for farming, producing a variety of vegetables as well as livestock such as pigs and cows, and a dairy farm. The produce from these farms was consumed by the Maudslay family and was even stored and sent to their homes on Beacon Hill and in Dark Harbor, Maine, where they enjoyed their winters and summers respectively. If one were to walk the Maudslay grounds, they will undoubtedly come across a large number of stone bridges, walls, and even a stone building. Aside from the older stone walls that had been used by earlier farmers, all these were constructed while the Maudslays resided here, and many, including the stone building and bridges, were handcrafted by Italian stonemasons using locally quarried stones. The craftsmanship of these stone walls is truly remarkable, and examples can be found throughout the park. From the moment one enters, as they walk through the woods, and even here, at the front gate leading towards the old foundations. These days, the land is used by the public all year round for a variety of recreational activities. From horseback riding to snowshoeing, there are numerous possibilities of ways to enjoy the scenic beauty at Maudslay. Although there are no longer any active farms at Maudslay, many of the historic farm buildings still stand and can be enjoyed by anyone for their historic value as well as their beauty. The land also has a rich artistic history. Catherine Tingley, famous for leading the Theosophist movement, held productions of Shakespearean plays on the land between 1862 and 1920. Today, the park continues in this tradition and is host to Newburyport's local theater group, Theater in the Open, who show a variety of plays throughout the year, as well as an annual Maudslay's Haunted event around Halloween. Before the Mausleys acquired the land, the Ashby family resided on part of it, famous for its mountain laurels, and held laurel parties annually, and the invitees included William Lloyd Garrison, Lucy Larcombe, and John Greenleaf Whittier. Whittier wrote a number of poems inspired by the land. The beauty of the landscape can be appreciated by anyone simply taking a stroll through the grounds, and all who visit will understand exactly what Whittier was so inspired by.
The truants of life's weary school without excuse from thrift, we change for once the gains of toil for God's unpurchased gift. From sealed rooms, from silent books, from crowded car and town, dear Mother Earth, upon thy lap we lay our tired heads down. Cool summer wind our heated brows, Blue River through the green of clustering pines refresh the eyes which all too much have seen. For us these pleasant woodland ways are thronged with memories old, have felt the grasp of friendly hands and heard love's story told. A sacred presence overbroods the earth whereon we meet. These winding forest paths are trod by more than mortal feet. Old friends called from us by the voice which they alone could hear, from mystery to mystery, from life to life draw near.